So guys, here we are. So the new channel I'll be starting. It's mainly going to be focused on the new people that are new to PC gaming, or people that have been gaming on the PC for a while and they don't really know much about, video card settings and game settings, and what's the best way to optimize quality with frames per second, getting a lot of, a good frame per second in games to give you some decent quality. There is a lot of videos out there with people that are they've been making videos for a while, and they just simply don't dot their I's, cross their T's, things like that. And there's just a lot of what I want to say, bad, I shouldn't say bad, just missing information out there, misleading information that just doesn't get out, and that's the problem. So what I aim to do with this channel is to educate people on some of the finer nuances of gaming on the PC, which is awesome, by the way. I left gaming on consoles back in 1999, which lets you know, give you some glimpse of how long I've been around, how much experience I have with gaming. And, one of the biggest misconceptions out there is that you need some of the most expensive hardware to game on, and that simply is not true, especially now, because the majority of game, or I should say hardware, video that's out now, video hardware, GPUs, CPUs, things of that. So the majority of those things aren't that expensive, and they're way more powerful than they used to be. So with that being said, let's talk about GPUs for a second. Your video card. And to put it plainly, anti-aliasing is a technique that's used by it's been used for a very, very long time. It was used back when I first got into PC gaming, back in 1999, and it's still used today. MSAA is a very old technique that tricks your eye into believing that the squiggly lines, or I should say the jagged edges, your jaggies, aren't there, and they really are. And what it does is it sacrifices your image quality, your texture quality, because it blurs your image. And so because it does that, it's not a very efficient way of doing anti-aliasing. So if you're gaming on the cheap, your pockets aren't deep, you don't have the money, the funds, or the means to get some of the best, any of the better video cards, the 670s, the 770s, the 780s, and things like that, or even the 60 series in NVIDIA. Your best bet is going to be gaming on AMD. AMD is aimed at the person trying to game on a budget, and you absolutely can do things and get the same kind of game experience with AMDs that you can with NVIDIAs. I'm not a fanboy of either. I just feel that you need to educate yourself to learn where you need to spend the money, or where you can spend the money, and where you don't need to spend the money um, to get good gaming performance. And typically, you want to match up. You want to try to do your, the biggest thing you can do to save yourself money, guys, if you're trying to game on the cheap, is to educate yourself. Just simply, um, you're on the internet, just, type in, watch a lot of YouTube videos of benchmarks and things of that sort. Read a lot of articles by a lot of different places. Tom's Hardware, there's a lot of them out there. Anon Tech, Vortex TV, Tiny Tom Logan, Linus Tech Tips, and all these guys very knowledgeable about gaming, and CPUs, video cards, things of that sort. So you need to go to places that people who know more than you, and don't just watch one or two videos. Try to get about 25 to 30 videos and articles. Mix them in up under your belt before you make you know any kind of choice, because you can save yourself so much heartache and headache where you get some. The problem is with gaming on cheap is you just don't know, and if you don't know, you'll try to save money, and in the long run you'll buy something that you're not happy with, that eventually you just won't want to use, or you won't use, or you end up taking back, and you waste time and money. It's just a big headache. Instead of just, if you had to just took your time out and learned about what you're trying to do, study, research, and that will save you so much money in the long run. It's not even funny. I mean, some of the things that, I've been doing this pretty much trial and error for better part of 13 years, and I've come across a lot of information, a lot of things that I've learned that I really want to share with people on my channel. So the channel will be aimed toward people, the gamer on a budget, or those who want to further a better knowledge of graphic settings and their effect on frames per second in games, especially at gaming at 1920 by 1080p, because that's what I'll be gaming at, to show you guys that it's absolutely possible, for instance, to game on a very cheap video card, something like as cheap as a $65 HD 6670, which I have in my possession. I'll put it in my machine and give you guys some run-throughs at 1920 by 1080p of some games that will actually run really well on that setup, like extremely well. You can't, like I say, you can't play all the best games out there. Crisis 3, you're not going to be getting, you're not going to be able to game on that with that particular card. But just to show you what can be done on like the cheapest card out there at 1920 by 1080p is something I just, I feel a lot of people want to know, because the card is only 65 bucks. Also too, I'll tell you about the effects of, of gaming on, 2-core and 4-core processors. Put it in a nutshell, make a long story short, is, you're gonna need 4 cores, guys. It really doesn't matter how much you spend on your CPU, but you want 4 cores, because most games coming out now, they're getting written for 4 cores, multi-core, utilizing the multi-core process. So do yourself a favor, just save your chips, buy you a 4 core that you can afford, and a GPU that you can afford, and get real good at doing your tweaks, because your tweaks are where you're going to get your frames per second from, and that's where you're going to save your money. Is the tweaking of your cards in video games. And you can take a card that is so basic and so simple, just like the one I just told you, the 6670, and you can like up it like a class or two depending on the settings that you put it on. That's what a lot of people don't concentrate on. It just simply just set up, and throw anti-aliasing in it, and card doesn't, it underperforms, so they automatically assume that the card is rubbish, and it's just not worth their time or money. But there's a lot of people in situations that they just can't afford, a $1,500 PC. So I aim to fix that for you, to help you make a better, more informed decision on things that on these gaming setups. So thank you guys for listening. I will be posting some videos to let you guys see just what you can do on a really cheap video card. And also explain a little bit more about gaming and setups and things of that sort. So that's it for this video. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.